Hi. So I'm actually in my office right now, and I switched off the light because there's a glare. I want to share with you on the different Christmas cards that I have made so far. So this will be a rather long video. So this is one of it. I actually use embossing a stencil, sorry, by Tim Holtz. I think this one is called Bubbles. Put on some embossing paste, and this one is actually from a stamp set from W+9, and this is, looking at it now, this one seems out of place, but well, I stuck it there and I can't remove it anymore. So this is one design. And another design is this, where I use the same embossing, no, sorry, not embossing, the stencil. And I have made a few different colors. So this one, I actually use the embossing paste translucent by Wendy Vecchi. And this one is embossing paste, and this one is actually white embossing paste, and then I put on some silver embossing powder on it before I let it dry, and then later on, once dried, I actually use my heat gun, go over it, and this is how the effect looks like. Then another design would be like this. I actually use the Lawn Fawn stamp set. I think it's called Tiny Teeny Backgrounds. I'm not sure the music one. I stamp it at the background, different colors, and then I paste on some Merry Christmas thing on a banner which I cut out, and I actually use all these dots. They're not actually enamel dots, but oh well, maybe they are. But I actually use the Viva Decor pen and do it myself. Okay, another design would be like that. I just use some pattern paper, go over, cut it into size, paste it on top, and yeah, emboss this Merry Christmas die that I bought from Simon Says Stamp. And another design would be like that. There's a piece of pattern paper behind, and then I put on a vellum and I pasted another piece of pattern paper. And this one over here, I actually stamped with the Lawn Fawn Penelope Blossom stamp set, go all around. And yeah, this leaf here, I believe I use the Unicorn Pigment ink. Takes a little bit longer time to dry though. Okay, then I have here somewhat same design, but same but not really the same. So I actually have a piece of vellum whereby there's hearts on it, and I pasted it on top, and I used some what's that, the Viva Decor pen, and I just go over, dot it, just color it with gold. Then I paste on, I cut a lot of all these Merry Christmas die, and I stack like maybe 3 of them together to give them some thickness. Yep. And this one, I used a piece of watercolor paper, and I actually just, put on some distress ink on my craft mat, spritz it with some water, and I just go over it. So I guess that's how I got it. So it's pretty simple. I use the Simon Says Stamp, I think it's Tree in Suspension or something, the die. I cut out this circle. Of course, you can use spellbinders or whatever circle dies to do that. Then I stamp 3 Christmas trees. And I actually use the Viva Decor pen. I have them in white and gold. So I just go randomly, you know, dotting them. And on the inside, I just stamp the sentiment. Okay, and then here I have a few samples to show you, 3 in fact. I find that they look really nice. I just adhere a piece of watercolor paper on a card, on my acrylic block. In fact, I paste it on my acrylic block, and then I secure all the edges with some kind of tape, and then I used some distress ink mixed with some water, and then I used the paintbrush, and I just sort of like flick onto the paper and let it dry until I like how it looks like. And so once it's dried, then I use I think it's tumbled glass, and I color the rest of the background. So this is what I got. I like it. Okay, and then this one is the same thing, you know, a pattern paper at the back, a vellum, and a piece, I believe this piece of paper here is from the Lawn Fawn Sunshine paper pad. This one, again, the vellum, heart-shaped, and embossing, no, not embossing, embossing paste, sorry. I'm not very good with my words today, so do forgive me. This one's the same thing, you know, with the colors on the craft mat, and spritz it with water. You know how it turns out at the end of the day. It's not fixed, so you can have all the surprises. This is a very simple one. I actually use an embossing folder, the Swiss dots, and go through it, and then I paste a piece of vellum. This is another one here. I made quite a few designs actually. Okay, this is the distress ink technique again. Another one. You know, you're able to do so many different kinds with your stencil, embossing paste, your distress inks, brush flicking, you know, or just simple, you know. This, I got some samples, not samples, I got some stencils, which are like, you know, lights, festive lights, and a snowman, and you know, this is pretty simple, and I wouldn't say it's ugly, though it might not be the prettiest of all, but yeah. So this is another one. I find that the word here is a bit faint, but well. This is another one, very simple. Just make use of all the different kind of pattern paper that you have. It's not sure, it's not working for me today. See, it doesn't work. Anyway, let's move on. And I have another stencil of this tree, which my helper tells me it does not seem to be like doesn't have any Christmassy mood, but well, I'm sorry, I just happened to do it. So okay, another one which I like is this one over here. I actually use the stencil, I put it on top of the paper, and I use Versamark, and I put it over it. I remove it, so whatever over here are all covered with Versamark, and then I would let it dry. I can't really remember what I did. Oh yeah, I used white embossing powder. I used my heat gun over it, and then I used some distress ink with colors and just dab it all around, and this is the effect that I got. And this one, I was playing around and I got a very nice paper at the back, and somehow or other I could have just left it alone and just paste the Merry Christmas on it, but I just had to, you know, touch it, and I ended up using this strip of paper, which looking at it now, I don't really like it because it covers most part of this piece of paper, which is a waste. Okay, let's move on. So I use the same technique, no, not the same technique, sorry, these cards here, I actually use, I have like, I think maybe 5 Derwent watercolor, Derwent Inktense watercolor pencils, and I actually color them over it, and then I use a paintbrush, dab it with water, and I just go around it. Sometimes I would just put the water first, and then I would, you know, just dab on some colors. I'm sure, you know, there are lots of YouTube videos out there teaching you how to use the Inktense pencils. But this is some of the looks that I managed to get. I'm hoping to do some videos, like record down how I go about doing each card. I finally found the little gadget which is able, you know, whereby I can clamp it onto my table and then attach my gadget on the other end and have it like floating on top of the table, and then I have like free hand, and you know, I can do my cards. So I'm gonna get that this Sunday, and hopefully I'll be able to do some cards by then and upload the videos. So this is another one. I just, you know, I got lazy and I just used some pattern papers, cut it into size, paste on it, paste on my card base, and do the banner, and that's about it. So yeah, I do quite like how the Inktense watercolor paper, sorry, not watercolor paper, watercolor pencils look. And yeah, I'm thinking of actually getting the 72 piece set, but that is like really expensive. It costs like, I think 355 Sing dollars over here, and in Simon Says Stamp it costs close to 300 US if I'm not wrong. So that's a big investment, and I'll just see how it goes. This one I actually use one of the distress ink pad. I just, you know, go over it on the paper, soak it, and I just take a random piece of pattern paper, cut it into size that I have as scrap, and paste on it, and there you go. This one I actually paste a pattern paper, and I find that, you know, the background is too wide, so I dab on some, I put on some what's that, distress refill inks on my craft sheet, mix it with water, and then use the brush tapping motion again. So these are just some of, yeah, so they're very simple. You know, my designs are all like very simple and easy. You know, I've done like I think maybe 200 cards already for Christmas, and I still have like 80 more to go. So, and then after this I need to do some cards for Deepavali, and yeah, so this is another design. So this is how it looks like. This is just one batch of 100 cards. I still have another 100 back at home. I'm gonna take a video on it pretty soon, and I will upload it, and yeah, in time to come, hopefully this Sunday, if not Monday, if not Tuesday, I will upload some videos. So yep, that's it for me today. I hope you have a brilliant Friday, and I will catch up with you next time. See you, bye.